Okay, hey, so this was a really interesting movie, and it's a tough one to talk about because it's so different than anything else out there. There's not many movies like this, and I wasn't sure at all, like, what the movie was really gonna be about, except for this guy who has some personal problems. And there was some interesting things that happened in it. But the first thing is, the movie itself is based on a true story, and that's huge. This guy plays with like toys to help him with his troubles, which were things like the Second World War, getting attacked outside a bar, and like his dealing with drugs. And it really shows you like the kind of pain some of us can live with. The movie wasn't at all comfortable, so it didn't feel good to watch a lot of this movie. A lot of it was like the raw feeling of what it can feel like for someone living with pain. And that's what the movie was projecting like throughout it. And they did a good job at it because it felt like really unsettling at times, like where the guy had these flashbacks of being in the war, and he would just run away like fast from people. And that happened a few times. And the guy has to like confront in the movie these changes with like a new neighbor moving in and a court trial, which these changes kind of make him feel bad and bring back like the pains of what happened to him. So to battle these pains, he dreams of like these toys doing things kind of like in Toy Story. And it's not like hard at all to see why a lot of people were really hard on this movie, because they can't handle this guy's pain that he's feeling, so they call it a bad movie. Well, it's really uncomfortable, but that seems like the point. If you're looking for a good time, maybe this isn't the movie for you. Go see Spider-Man or Bumblebee or something else maybe. But the movie's real. You have to give it to it. If you like movies that don't try and pretend to be what they're not, then you'll probably like this. There's a lot of people around us who are struggling with pain in our lives, and many like people are dealing with like unimaginable pains that we might never understand. And this movie is kind of showing you one way how somebody handled it. The acting seemed really good. Steve Carell is pretty nice to watch, and the other actors like Leslie Mann and Diane Kruger do their parts too. The nice thing about the movie is that it makes you think from like these different viewpoints, like what this guy went through, what a neighbor moving in next door would see, what someone who knows the guy for a long time would see, and what someone maybe working with him would see, and how he saw the world through this little toy world that he made just to help himself out. And it's no doubt that that's what got the movie made in the long run, and it's a nice idea, all of that, but they just couldn't bring it to life like as well as they should have. The music wasn't that good. The movie was really like quiet throughout it, like when there weren't any action scenes, and it was missing like that kind of light music in there. And you can't really help but feel that the script's like missing out on some sort of like deep breakthrough moments. Like it seemed that whenever some big scenes came up, they didn't really touch you, but just kind of like skim the surface before they went on to like the next scene. So it was one scene after the other, like pow, pow, pow. And the movie really depended on making you feel something for this guy, but some of the parts it just didn't like hit you as hard as they should have. And I don't know what it was, if it was the directing, the screenplay, the acting, the music, or just a bunch of these things together that didn't work out. It seemed like the director like really failed to bring this screenplay to life. Even though like the movie was shot well and the scenes worked together, the scenes just didn't like live up to their potential, and the script even wasn't that great. For a lot of the movie, for a lot of people, the movie kind of went like under the radar. You didn't see it around a lot if you were looking for this movie. And I just really found out about this, that the marketing budget for the movie was only 60 million. Only 60 million. It's still a lot of money, but they say for these movies, a budget would usually be way over 100 million. So that could be why you didn't see it around a lot. If other people were paying 100 million, then maybe their movie was seen a lot more, like on the internet or on billboards or wherever. But at the end, it's really hard to say if this was a good or a bad movie, because it was really complex, and maybe with like the right script, it could have been a really big movie, but it ended up being kind of like on the borderline, and it could be either good or it could be bad. And I'll give it a pass because of the story, that the guy tried to help himself with these toys, and there's a lot to learn from it. So that's it for now. Check out my other videos and subscribe.